This winter, I decided to dump my kids and travel through Costa Rica and Nicaragua. And I had the great idea that I was going to play tennis everywhere I went because I thought it would be a great way to stay in shape and to make new friends. But in order for me to take my tennis racket with me, I needed to put it in the largest suitcase. Now, if you bought that three sets of suitcases, that there's a large, medium, and small. And I wanted to take the medium, but my tennis racket wouldn't fit in the medium suitcase. So I ended up taking the large suitcase. Big mistake because it was way more suitcase than I needed. And so, of course, I took extra stuff just to fill it up because I had to take this tennis racket with me. So, when I am there traveling around, I am not in a car driving around. I am taking the local transport. I am traveling throughout the country. I am staying in hostels. I'm staying in people's houses. I'm doing all the stuff. This is how I like to travel. So in order for me to get around, I have to lug this suitcase with me everywhere I go. So on my first adventure, I realized my mistake because this huge suitcase had to be taken on and off all of the vehicles that I went in. And so on this one, it went on the roof. It went on the roof, and the guy climbs up there. And as he unties it, he's like, "Are you ready?" And so, yeah, bring it on. I have to catch my suitcase as he drops it down to me. And all I could think of the whole ride was like, how am I going to get my suitcase off the roof? Guess what? I caught the suitcase mostly because of my pride. My pride caught that suitcase because I think of myself as a very strong person, and there was no way that I was not catching that suitcase. And even to make it even more fun, there was this big, huge guy waiting to get on the bus. And did he catch it for me? No, but he did say, "Good catch," when I caught it. So I was like, damn. And another time, every time I would travel from one place where I was staying to another, I would always think, I wonder if there's stairs there because it was really hard to take this stupid suitcase upstairs. And my next location where I was going had these stairs. Not only did it have stairs, but at where the stairs were, there was this amazing bakery where everybody in town would go for their coffee and their croissants and all that stuff. And so not only did I have to go up these stairs, but there was tables of people enjoying their coffee, gonna get this show of me trying. So I'm trying to think, how can I get this suitcase up the stairs without struggling? And the answer is I couldn't. But I thought I just do it one at a time. So I step up a step and I lift my suitcase. I step up a step and I lift my suitcase, and I'll get there. But it was an ego thing. And as I started uh, going up the first step, this young man jumped up from his chair and came up and said, "Can I help you?" And back in the day, I would say no because I would think it was an ego pride thing. Like, I got this. I don't need help from anybody. But I've learned how to receive and receive help from others and ask for help. And I said, "Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Thank you so much." And he literally just picked it up like it was nothing, carried it up the stairs, and said, "There you go." And I thanked him so much. And in my brain, I was thinking, "Oh, this is horrible. I can't carry my suitcase up." Like, I could have taken it up, it just wouldn't have been graceful. And I would have, it would have been a thing. And it didn't feel good to think that. So instantly, because I know that my thoughts create my results, I turned it around into the thought of what an amazing young man. Like, some mother out there raised this amazing human being. And I know 100% that my boys would do that for somebody else too. And so I went from feeling like, oh my God, this is horrible, to feeling good about the situation because I know that he felt good helping me. Although if he tells a story, he might say he helped some old lady with her bag. But in my brain, when I change it over to what a wonderful human being this is, and we need more people like this on this planet. It was just such a good experience. So, this is my story, which leads into why we need to take really good care of our bodies and our strength and our health. Now, if you want to do all of these things, you want to listen up because here's how you can do it where you can lift your own suitcase. Oh, and the moral of the story is I never played tennis once, not even once. And guess what, guys? I took my pickleball racket with me too. I didn't use that either. So this was just an exercise in futility and humility. But nonetheless, I did learn a lot and I will pack differently next time. So, lesson learned. But in the meantime, we want to talk about how to stay strong in midlife. I have always been an athletic person. I identify as an athletic person. That's just kind of who I am in my brain. Right out of high school, I had a major injury. So I tore my ACL and then I had a full repair. And that means back in the day, like that was a long, 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 long time ago, they cut you wide open, they tear it all apart, and then they put you in a cast for 6 months and you don't move your leg and you lose all your muscle. And then a couple of years later, because I just didn't learn my lesson, I tore my ACL again and I had a full repair again, the same repair. Now, that repair these days would be done through orthoscoping. Like they would not cut you open like that. And you're moving your leg the next day because when you isolate your leg, you lose all your muscle. So after that, I could never get my muscle on my left leg back. But now I have this injury that I'm dealing with, right? And as I get older, this causes me to change my lifestyle. So I've always been active, I've always been athletic, and as I get older, there's arthritis in my knee, and I will do another podcast about how to get rid of arthritic pain through your diet because that's what I did. But for this story, I'm talking about me not being able to be as athletic and mobile because of this knee injury that happened when I was 19. And so I changed my lifestyle. My injuries happened because of soccer. I loved soccer and injured my knee twice doing it. And so stopped playing soccer. I learned the hard way. And then I was a runner and then I had to stop running and all of that. So I would always change my lifestyle and incorporate new sports or forms of movement or anything like that that my body could handle. So I was always adapting. I was never stopping. I was never feeling sorry for myself. I was always adapting. But I was a personal trainer for the past 16 years. But guess what, guys? I hate lifting weights. I'm like a boot camp kind of girl, right? Like I'm a functional fitness kind of girl. And I hate lifting weights. But as we get older into menopause, lifting weights and keeping strong bones and muscles is critical to the longevity of our health and our lifestyle, our quality of life. As we get older, we lose a ton of muscle mass and we lose mobility and we lose strength. So physically, our body is changing and it's getting hard to do these things. Our goal is to be healthy and live well into our later years. So when we hit menopause, we kind of go from like that aesthetic reason for exercising and that, like we want to look good, to now we want to live good. So we go from looking good to living good. We want to be healthy. And all these women that I talk to are like, yeah, I'm not worried about losing weight because of how I look. I'm worried about losing weight because I want to be able to move easier. I want to be healthier for longer. So we know why we gain weight and specifically the belly fat. We know how to get rid of it. So check out my past episodes and also my Eat More, Lose Weight in Midlife Masterclass. We talk about all of that and solve for all of that. But bone health and muscle mass, osteoporosis, that's a whole other ball game. We reach our maximum bone density at age 35. And then it slowly starts to decline, slowly over time. So it's not really noticeable. And then in menopause, bam, we see it dramatically decline. And that's because of all the hormonal shifts, right? So when we lose that bone strength, it's much more likely that our bones will fracture. That's why osteoporosis is such a huge thing. 50%, I'm going to throw some stats at you. 50% of females have an osteoporotic fracture, like a bone fracture before they die, and it's completely preventable. The National Osteoporosis Foundation reports that 1 in 3 women will suffer a serious osteoporotic fracture in their lifetime. If you break your hip in menopause, 30% of women who get surgery will die after the first year, and 70% will die without surgery. Okay, those are some scary statistics. I get it. And I'm telling you this just to get your attention, okay? Because this all is preventable. When we talk about bone health and bone density, I think the number one reason why we want to do this is because we want to stay healthy and strong for balance and mobility and agility. The way we can prevent this the most is by not falling. Like, let's just stay on our feet, ladies. And that's the best version and the way our future, the rest of our life looks amazing, is we have great strength and balance and agility. So we are not falling. But sometimes that isn't always possible. And in order to do this, we want to have a strong muscle mass. We want to build our muscles and keep our bones as strong and as humanly possible. So in case we do fall or something like that, our bones are solid and they don't break like like and we want to make sure that our bones are solid and that they don't like crumble like cornflakes. We want them to be solid. Okay. Here's a couple of reasons why our bones start to get brittle. Now, it's hormonal shifts in our body, which are natural for sure. They happen. But some of the other ones are totally preventable. When we have a lot of people take calcium supplements, and that is no bueno. It's not a good thing. We always want to make sure that when we're trying to heal our body and help our body, we want to use food to get our nutrients. And so a calcium supplement is harder for our body to absorb. It's not as bioavailable. And if we have too much calcium, too much, then it starts to cause troubles because it can start to create calcium spurs and wreak havoc with your organs. So we want to make sure that we're trying to get calcium in a form that our body can actually use to make more bones. So this is a tough one. Like, unless your doctor is prescribing that you take calcium, you probably want to stay away from calcium supplements. And we want to look at what creates calcium in the body, which is silica and magnesium. These are the nutrients that we want to get in our food. So when you look at like cows don't take calcium. Cows don't drink milk. Once they're grown, they drink water and they eat grass. And so that's where they get the building blocks of calcium, is in their food. And we want to do that too. So the best way to keep strong bones is by keeping the calcium in your bones. And here's why the calcium is leached out of your bones, is when your diet, when your overall body is acidic, like your body has a pH balance. And when it's acidic, it starts to leach the calcium out of the bones in order to try to alkalize your body's pH. One of the most acidic things that you could possibly put into your body is pop. Pop is so acidic, it just leaches the calcium out of your bones. If you put it on the bumper of your car, it would clean the rust right off of it. So this is highly acidic. This is the stuff that you want to be not putting into your body. This is horrible for your bone health. You want to avoid this at all costs. Pops, sugars, all the processed stuff. It's highly acidic and leaches the calcium out of your bones. No bueno. So it goes without saying that if we keep our body alkalized in the first place, it won't leach the calcium out of our bones. So let's do that. How do we do that? The number one way is by eating an alkalizing diet. And what's an alkalizing diet? Organic, whole clean foods. But the number one thing, leafy green vegetables. You knew I was going to say that. And that's why I just love my diet, because it's alkalizing. So I know that the food I'm eating is not leaching the calcium out of my bones. And I want to have foods that are high in silica and magnesium, and also high in vitamin K. And I want to move my body and I want to exercise. So I've just told you all the things, all the ways that you can keep strong bones in menopause and that you can stay strong so that you are not a victim of weak bones and potential fracture. So let us take our health into our own hands. We want to do weight bearing exercises, because when we do these weight bearing exercises, the bone breaks down a little bit and is forced to rebuild itself. That's how the bones stay strong. And when we are lifting weights, we are strengthening the muscles around the bones to help support. And then we're staying agile and we're able to catch the suitcases as they're thrown at us off of the roof of the bus in Nicaragua. Do you feel me on this? Like, this is the life I want to live. And I know I got to take care of myself so that I can take care of myself. I got to take care of myself so I can take care of myself. So lifting weights to stay strong, mobile, and agile to prevent falling is key. Now, like I just said, I don't love to lift weights. I was a personal trainer for 16 years. Don't love it. And I have a gym in my house and I don't love it. It's really hard for me to do it. So I prefer to do more functional ways of doing weight bearing exercises. So walking, that's a weight bearing exercise. Jogging or running, if you can do that. Oh my gosh, I have envy and keep doing it. But that's a great way to build some strong bones and muscles. Um, Racket sports, I'm obsessed with my tennis and, pickleball, all those types of things are great. Climbing stairs, dancing, all of these things are weight bearing exercises. Yoga, Pilates, like just move your body for 30 minutes. I do want to recommend, though, that you try to lift some weights. Now, they don't have to be huge weights, but we do want to try to build muscle. So if you can, you're challenging yourself with these weights. You're trying to, in order for you to build a muscle, you want the weight to be heavier each time. You want to be going up in weight so that your muscle is like, I need to get stronger in order to lift this. And that is how we stay strong in midlife. That is how we create a strong foundation for this body so that it can take us to do all of these amazing things in midlife. Now, I want to give you some more options for ways to get these nutrients into your body. Okay. The number one way to get silica, which is what calcium is made out of, or number one way to get silica into your body is through horsetail. You can have a supplement and you can make a tea. And I would recommend that you research all of these like I have. And you want to take horsetail and magnesium. They go well together because silica and magnesium are beautiful in building strong bones. Horsetail is the highest natural source of silica, and it's very well absorbed. So let me share this with you as well. Vitamin K. So that helps to lay down new bone. And one of the best ways to get that is by eating natto. Now that is like fermented soybeans. So you could find this in your local Asian market. NATO, NATO. Um, so here's some other things that you want to remember. You want to maybe have some oysters to keep your zinc levels up. You want to munch on black sesame seeds because they have the most phytosterols of all foods and have huge amounts of bioavailable calcium. Black sesame seeds, super cheap. You could put them on anything. You could just eat them plain if you want to. They have magnesium and many minerals for bone health. Cucumber and plum is another source of high in silica, so you can put that in your smoothies. Swiss chard has the most vitamin K1. So Swiss chard, you can put that in a salad or you can smoothie it up and drink it. And NATO has the most K2. So the combination of that, you've got your Ks because vitamin K is you need vitamin K to help build the strong bones. It's a really important component in that. And then you want to make sure that you are moving your body and building muscle in a way that feels good for you. So the more you enjoy it, the more you'll do it. But ladies, please remember that all of this information is given to you with the thought of, hey, I need to take my health and my wellness into my own hands because this means a really amazing next piece of my life. So the more I take care of my health, the better my midlife will be. So I'm in charge of that. So I'm going to do all of these things to take my health into my own hands because bone fractures are preventable. And the best way is through our food and moving our body and taking care of this body right now so that when we're older, we can still do all of these things. So the best way to get your vitamins and minerals in is through food. That's my number one recommendation, the number one way to do it. So we want to create a strong, healthy version of ourselves so that we can chase our dreams well into our 80s and beyond. We want to be running after our grandkids. We want to be surfing and we want to be climbing mountains and doing all of these amazing fun things well into our 80s. And that's the vision I have for myself. And I want to inspire that into you and into what's possible for you as well. And this will ensure that you are paying attention to what goes into this beautiful body of yours, because every food that you eat creates your cells. And that's what this body is created from the food that you eat. So every bite will make you strong and healthy, or it will make you ill. It's your choice. But remember, every bite matters. Thank you for listening. Always, always, always love yourself first and have an amazing day.